Hey everybody, this is JDGaming. As I announced in my 2,000 subscriber special last week, I'm trying out a few new ideas for videos that were inspired by the 4 Fun Facts series while I gather new material. Today is the first of 3 experimental episodes that could very well become their own spin-off series in the future, so be sure to let me know what you think down below when it's done. Our favorite quote-unquote fairy received her own feature in a recent 4 Fun Facts for trading her oversized syringe out for a massive missile, but she's back today for her true ability. The original Legacy of Darkness secret rare reads, this card's effect can only be activated during the damage step of either player's turn. Pay 2,000 life points to increase the attack of this monster by 3,000 points only during the damage step. Simple, yet amazingly powerful, even to the point where it was once forbidden for a format. But this card always makes me think of Tribe Infecting Virus. The reason is, back when my brother first pulled his copy of that card from Magician's Force, we didn't realize a card without an explicit once per turn clause could be used as many times as we could pay the cost or otherwise meet the activation requirements. It was a card that taught us a lot about how broken cards work in Yu-Gi-Oh! And applying that same logic to Injection Fairy Lily's original text really confused me. Going by what's printed, there's nothing stopping a player from paying any multiple of 2,000 life points for an equal number of Blue Eyes boosts so long as it happens during either player's damage step. So I can boost to over 9,000 for 3 easy payments of 2k? Sign me up and send me that free bonus tub of OxyClean. Of course, that's not how the card actually works, and we eventually received corrections explaining this. Also interesting is how they changed the timing of the boost to damage calculation, a late part of the damage step so elusive that cards specifically mentioning it pretty much have an unfair advantage over other battle tricks. Following Lily's footsteps is another fake fairy. Fairy King Truesdale first appeared as a free promo in the North American editions of the World Championship 2004 Game Boy Advance game. This fierce flower ruler clocks in at 2200 attack, which is a pretty paltry payout for the one tribute needed before the days of Lone Fire Blossom. However, it was his text that made him an absolute beast in my old dueling days. As long as this card remains face up on the field, increase the attack and defense of all plant-type monsters on your side of the field by 500 points. With a simple buff to 2700, old Oberon here outclassed the likes of Summon Skull, Jinzo, and a lot of other powerful beatsticks. However, that would soon end with the European release of the card in Falsebound Kingdom. The updated text granted the king his powers only while he remained in defense position. Not only did this make him useless as an attacker, but it would be extremely difficult to actually put his effect into play until 2008's release of Lone Fire Blossom. But seeing as the king returned with his royally screwed text change in Champion Pack Game 7 later that year, perhaps it was Konami's plan all along. Up next is a classic that was among the first cards many of the earliest duelists owned. 𝗪𝗪𝗡 was a flexible trap card that defended a player from an opponent's onslaught no matter how large their attack force. Its TCG name is a fraction of the original Japanese 𝗪𝗪𝗡 no Shisha, which means reconciliation's emissaries or harmony's emissaries, in which case 𝗪𝗪𝗡 is the tranquil ideal that these emissaries represent. Sure is fitting that these peacemakers decrease any damage inflicted by an opponent's monster to 0 during the turn the card is activated. But what confused everyone is the unwritten rule that the monsters you controlled could also not be destroyed by battle. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games were a boon to learning players back in the day, and this was how my friends and I learned how the card actually worked, until we finally received an errata adding that all-important effect. Then again, who really needs monster protection in its home deck, am I right? Flopping into the final spot is a misfit card that never really saw any level of play, and for good reason. Level Modulation has the coveted Draw 2 printed in its text, but it's completely the wrong way. Once you've provided your opponent with a free what does it do, you get to trade your spell for 1 level monster in your own graveyard ignoring the summoning conditions. That monster you reborn can't attack that turn, and all of its abilities are shut off as well. No biggie, my monster's effect comes back when my opponent's turn starts, right? I'll just yard the mighty Horus, the Black Flame Dragon level 8, and revive it for a one-sided Imperial Order, GG no re. Except you can't do that. At least, you usually can't. For those of you who didn't see the 4 Fun Facts where I explained, Nomi monsters are those special summon monsters, like many bosses of the level series, that cannot be normal summoned or set, and can only be special summoned using a specific method usually listed on the card. A related group of semi-Nomi monsters, like the Chaos, must first be summoned using that method, and then cards like Monster Reborn are fair game. Even though the card literally says ignoring the summoning conditions, this does not exempt a player from needing to first properly summon a Nomi monster, because game mechanics. Thus, the card was deemed so terrible that we haven't received another printing or text update to the spell since its last printing in 2007's Dark Revelation 4, despite related support like Level Up getting reprinted in Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World. Unlike modulation, Level Up actually does allow you to summon a card like Armed Dragon level 7 because that's how this game works. And you can even use it to turn a Dark Mimic level 3 into a level 1 because that's how this game works. And there you have it, a bunch of classic cards that confused me back in the day. What cards made no sense to you? I'd love to hear them, so please feel free to share them down below, and maybe I'll even be inspired to continue this series and add it to the list. Anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you guys next week with another experimental video. That's the end of this video, but there's plenty more where it came from. I invite you to explore the playlists on screen to see what else I have to offer, and if you really liked what you saw today, consider subscribing to JDGaming for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks guys, this is JDGaming, hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys next time.